as well as we can get much more or better molecules at the earliest time for disease for treatment available. So that's how it can also play a very big role as far as R&D is concerned. Now, digital solution can also help in clinical trial simulation. It can also help in computer assisted trial design, because to analyze such a huge data, this can also help the entire thing. And there can be different type of model based drug design can be introduced. That also saves a lot of time as well as resource. And there is something, the new concept which is now getting introduced to the healthcare is called graphing processing unit. In all the types of video games which we all are used to it, they use graphic processing unit, which can handle actually large amount of data. So particularly in clinical trial, when we are screening a lot of compounds, so it not only helps in patient care, but also help the industry or the pharmaceutical companies as per the R&D is concerned. So also the digital can help in the financial outcomes, because as well as increased value. So when I say financial outcomes, all of us know that the use of artificial intelligence in medical imaging, which can speed up the diagnosis. This is very, very useful and being working in radiology. So what happens, like when there are a lot of scan reports are available, the database is available, with the help of artificial intelligence, you can pinpoint the diagnosis. So the diagnosis, what I mean by diagnosis is, for example, the algorithm can be used, and that algorithm can be much more much better accuracy, increase the accuracy to get the final diagnosis. And all of us also now know that again, radiology is one of the most sought specialty, and what is the shortage. So with the introduction of artificial intelligence, the digital can help. I will not say that it will replace, but a huge number of radiology reports can be analyzed in a very short period of time. So that's how it can help. Again, for hospitals or for doctors, AI can also reduce a lot of non-medical work, like the back-end appointment fixing, then nursing workload, surgical scheduling, and can save a lot of cost. Because ultimately, we need to put the resource for better patient care. If I'm able to do through a digital or through my computerized method or through the different types of programming, then why do I need so much of manpower? That can also help in terms of the mm, improving the financial outcomes. This also can streamline the healthcare service and driving the operational effectiveness. So when I say that driving operational effectiveness, what I mean is more of automation. A lot of automation can be done. It can also reduce clinical documentation, because through this you can use that. For example, like our doctors like are not so adaptive in terms of actually giving e-prescription. Now that with the technology like speech recognition technology, uh, it can detect while the doctor is speaking to the patients about taking the history and all those things. Actually, it can get typed in the system. So that also saves a lot of time. It reduces uh, 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 in terms of the patient's OPD load, and ultimately it improves the efficiency. So that's how also this technology can be used. And with the available of 5G, because the whole world is moving towards the 5G technology, with the available of 5G technology, it can help the surgeons for robotic to do a lot of robotic surgery. So now I think it's around from a distance of around 30 miles, a robotic surgeon can perform the surgery just because of the use of 5G technology. So that's how the entire healthcare is going to shape towards as per the future is concerned. Now, coming to what is pertinent is for our sales and marketing, we all know that the entire pharma industry is more of like MR-driven industry. So, our interaction or our communication, mode of communication is primarily or 70 to 80% of the resources being spent on the MRs. So that's how the industry is so dependent on people. Very less spending on advertisement. Of course, that is not that the industry doesn't want to spend, but we have a lot of restriction. We follow a lot of rules and regulation. It's a regulated industry. All of us know that. As compared to the FMCG, they can free to advertise anywhere, anything. That's not the case with pharma. So therefore, there are a lot of less spending, and the communication to the physician is again limited. Uh, as I mentioned, that it is only through the people or the MR, and that's how also it really reduce the engagement with the customers. So when I talk about engagement, I will come to in little detail. So the time is actually look at disruption in marketing through digitization. So when I say disruption, I really mean that yes, a huge uh, uh, scope is there actually to disrupt, and perhaps these 6 months must be actually a testing for many of the large organizations to really test that yes, how the digital, what is the need or what was the gap in terms of actually if the company those have not adopted or do not have the digital strategy, how it was actually uh, uh, impacted their business in many, right from supply chain to marketing to reaching out to doctors to or any communication. So that in every field got impacted. So how it is going to help? The first thing what I mean is that it will have a lot of benefit in terms of patient communication. So with the help of digitalization, industry can focus on end user, because till date our only focus is or communication is through customers. There are hardly any communication we are able to do to patients. Again, as I said that yes, because of lot of regulation, it's a regulated industry, but with the help of digitalization, we can definitely reach to our end user. And the industry can be a service provider and not just providing medicine or just selling pill. So when I say that service provider, we need to look at the entire ecosystem, which where actually industry can play a role as far with the use of having a digital strategy. So we can create a lot of patient communities. It can help through this, because what helps it reduce the time, and with lesser resource, you can reach out to the maximum number of your customers. So one such example which I came across is for Novartis. Novartis has got a patient community like called via app for either for the blind or for the low vision people. So through this app, it guides the person how to manage his daily life, because they have actually a difficulty in terms of as far the vision is concerned. So each every organization can think of and also can help to build these communities. Through digitization, also it can help to have a lot of real-time diagnosis and data adherence. So when I say the data adherence, I was talking about the chronic, or I mean by chronic therapy, where actually whether it is CKD or chronic liver disease or diabetes or hypertension, adherence to therapy is a must. So with the help of digital, we can able to reach out, we can communicate, we can deliver the drugs to the doorstep, to the patient doorstep, so that the adherence is meant, is the compliance is 100%. And of course, once you know that the compliance is better, the outcome will be much better. It applies to every disease, which not only chronic but even to the acute. So to summarize, uh, I am what I would like to communicate is that with the help of digital, actually it can reshape the pharma marketing, and digital world is actually a visual world to all of us. Uh, digital channels to replace the regular form of advertising. So when we talk of regular form of advertising, it will help to communicate much better. And there are a lot of digital savvy physicians. And when we say digital savvy physician, we all must know how do they, because if you look at the, if I give an example of e-commerce, say for example, Myntra, okay, like in Myntra, exactly knows what you are, means so what color you like, what size, definitely all the time you look at, because at the back end, the data is being captured through machine learning. Similarly, now when I mean by digital savvy physicians, so we all know that most of the doctors, they look at for medical information to various sites or journal sites. So we can exactly know that what is he looking for, and the communication can be targeted rather than just giving the whole lot of communication, because the sharper the communication, better is the outcome or the productivity, the effectiveness of the communication will be much better. So that's how also it can help, through, we can able to achieve that through digitalization. Customer experience mapping, I just gave example of the e-commerce. uh, Having understood or having met, even perhaps pharma industry is the only industry where we make so much of face-to-face contacts, but unfortunately we have no method or very, our data collection method is very rude and not in a very systematic way as compared to say IT or say financial sectors like insurance and all those. So primarily our knowledge is very very poor. That's why I mentioned in my opening statement that we are in the infant stage as far the digitalization is concerned. So we need to learn a lot from those industries, that how can I actually get my customers experience. So when I say customer experience, be it what is the type of information he's looking for, what is his practice, what are the type of patient that he sees. So that can actually we can get those informations once the entire industry moves towards the digital strategy. And changing the target audience. So as I mentioned, that we need to also move from just selling to be a service provider. And that's how our target audience will not be only doctors, because gone are those days that